Hello children, welcome to today's English class. I hope you all are safe, healthy and happy at home, and a lot of learning is going on these days as you are connected with us, though you are at home. Children, in the last class we had learnt about determiners. What are determiners and what are the different components of determiners? Let us try to quickly look at what are determiners and what we had learnt in the last class, and then we will move ahead and learn more about articles. We had learnt a little bit about articles in the last class and we had learned the other determiners. So, we will continue with the articles and also we will be looking at some exercises. So, let us quickly look at what we had learnt in the last class. Now, what are determiners? Determiners are words that come before nouns. They also tell us about the nouns. They tell us whether the nouns are specific or general. And we had also looked at the different components of determiners: articles, quantifiers, okay, demonstratives, and possessives. Okay. Now, as I told you, determiners tell us whether a particular noun is general or specific. For example, my sister is a doctor. Now, when I say my sister, so a particular sister is being talked about. I am saying my sister is a doctor. So, I am talking about a specific sister. So, this is a specific determiner, and here a is a doctor. So, a is also a determiner, but it is a general determiner. So, articles and quantifiers, they are general determiners, and possessives and demonstratives are specific determiners. Articles a, an, and the, and also quantifiers few, many, little, okay, some. All these are quantifiers and they talk about general nouns. And demonstratives and possessives. Possessives, as I told you, my, their, it, hers, his, our, okay, all of them are possessives and they are specific determiners. And demonstratives, this, these, that, and those. Okay, they are also specific determiners. So, children, I hope you got an idea of what determiners are and what are articles, quantifiers, demonstratives and possessives. You have learnt about determiners in your primary and also in your upper primary classes. Particularly, you have learnt about articles and also the demonstratives, possessives as pronouns, nouns, pronouns in your upper primary classes. Now, we had tried to learn what articles are. I had told you a, an, and the. So, here a, and, an are indefinite articles, whereas the is a definite article, and we also say that the is a definite determiner or a specific determiner. Okay? And we also know that a is used before consonants. And how many consonants are there in the English language? We have 26 alphabets, out of which 5 are vowels, okay, and they are A, E, I, O, U. So, you need to remember, children, here a is used before consonants and an is used before vowels, that is the words that begin with A, E, I, O, U. And I had told you in the last class, children, about the use of the words beginning with the letter U. Okay? Okay, please look at these sentences once again. So, though we say an is used before all the words which begin with vowels, right. So, here when we say consonant and when we say vowels, so we stress, you know, in the sound that is made. For example, let us look at this. Union, okay, the sound is U, the letter is also U and we do pronounce it as U, union. And here this is university, the letter is U and it is pronounced as it is university, okay. Whereas, look at the pronunciation of these two words, umbrella. Though the letter here is U, what is the sound that is made? Umbrella, okay, and earn, okay, though the letter is U, we say earn. So, children, wherever you have, you know, the vowel, you know, U, but the sound is not U and it is we use an umbrella, an earn, okay. And here a union, a university, okay. After passing 12th standard, I went to a university for further studies. Okay. This department has got a union of its workers. So, children, you have to remember especially this particular use of an. So, it is not that any letter that begins with U, you know, has an or the article an. So, children, I hope you have got some idea of the use of articles. Let us try to look at some more use of articles, and also then we will be looking at some exercises. Children, as I had told you before, this year you have all multiple choice questions for your grammar section, okay, and all your questions will be related to the portions which you have in grammar. We have done tenses, we have done reported speech, okay. Now, we have done subject verb agreement. Now, we are doing or learning the determiners, and also you will be getting questions from models. So, these are the different topics for you, and your grammar questions will be based on all these 5 topics, and all of them will be multiple choice questions. So, you need to understand the use of the different grammar topics that you have in your syllabus, and when you try to attempt doing these questions, you need to read the question very carefully and read all the options given and then try to use the correct option. So, let us move on and learn some more uses of articles. So, as a general rule, a common noun in the singular number should have an article placed before it. For example, I saw dog in street. This is not correct. I saw a dog in the street, that is correct. And you can also say I saw the dog in the street. Okay? We use the article the when we talk about specific or particular things. When we talk about something for the first time, we use the indefinite articles a and an. But when we talk about the same thing again, or when we talk about some specific things, we use the. I saw the dog in the street means I am talking about a particular dog. So, the is used in the following cases. Let us see what are the situations where we use the definite article the. Before a noun, if we want to particularize it, or if we talk about some particular person or thing. He is a man who bet me. So, I am talking about a particular man who bet me. Okay? So, I use the man before the names of rivers, the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Brahmaputra, and before the names of mountain ranges, the Himalayas, the Vindhyas, before the names of oceans, canals, sea gulfs and straits, the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, the Suez Canal, etc. Before the proper names of most religious and classical books, for example, the GEETA, the Bible, the Quran. Before the names of things which are unique, the sun, the moon, the earth, okay? And before superlative degree, the third degree. You have learnt about the degrees in your upper primary classes: positive, comparative and superlative. Okay? Superlative means the best. So, you use the before superlative degrees. For example, the best, the noblest, the youngest, the highest, the tallest, the shortest. So, with the third degree you use the. Before a proper adjective when people or nation is understood. For example, the English, the Indians, the French, the Dutch, the Chinese, the Japanese. Okay, when we talk about the people or a nation, then we use the. And now before an adjective when the noun is understood. For example, the rich should help the poor. Now with comparative degrees as in the following idiom, the higher, the better, okay. The higher you climb, the colder you feel, okay. So, when we compare in certain cases with the comparative degree, okay, then the is not used in the following cases. You have to be very careful. So, please look at your screen very carefully and also listen very carefully as I try to tell you about the situations where you are not supposed to use the definite article the before the name of a town, city or village. Okay. Before the name of a continent, you do not say the Asia, the America, the Europe, right? Before the name of a country. You don't say the Sri Lanka or the Belgium or the India, right? You will say India is a progressive nation. Okay? America is the most developed country in the world. You don't use the before the names of countries. And before the name of a single island. Okay? Our islands are a group of islands, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are a group of islands. So, we say the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, but a single island does not have the before it. Okay? Before the name of a cape, okay, and before the name of a lake, and before the name of a single mountain. We use the before mountain ranges, but when you talk of a single mountain, okay, you don't use the. Before a proper or abstract noun. Okay. Children, many a times you make mistakes when you use the before names. You do that many a times, knowingly or unknowingly. Okay. When you write the name of the characters in the answers in your answer sheets, you write the Valli, okay, or the Ashok. So, you the Lencho. So, you do this many a time. So, you need to be very careful that you do not write the before names or an abstract noun. Okay. And also the is not used before the names of titles. For example, Queen Victoria, King George, you do not say the Queen Victoria, I met the Queen Victoria, you say I met Queen Victoria. Okay, you do not say the King George, you say King George. So, you do not use the before titles, and then also before a material noun. Iron is a useful metal. We do not say the iron is a useful metal. So, you do not use the before a material noun. So, children, I hope now the use of articles a, an and the is clear to you. Now, children, I have some exercises for you. You can also practice at home exercises related to determiners. Okay. As I told you, we are going to get multiple choice questions in your grammar section. So, let us look at these practice exercises. Despite the advances in technology, there is a blank of the universe is yet to be discovered. So, the options are much, a quantity, several, an amount or more. So, despite the advances in technology, so it will not be quantity or it will not be several of the universe, it will not be an amount or more. So, you are not going to discover more universe. So, what will be there? Much of the universe is yet to be discovered. And look at the second one, there is a blank in the beginning, the 16 teams in the cup were represented with their flags. So, when we try to read this sentence without the determiner, it becomes very clear for us that the sentence talks about all the 16 teams. They were represented with their flags, the flags of their countries. So, the options here were some of, plenty of, much of, many. So, here it would be all the 16 teams in the cup were represented with their flags. Now, there is a blank, people are travelling by train because of its slowness. So, the options are few, plenty, little, some and many. So, when we read the sentence without a determiner, so we can understand that people are travelling by train because they have given a reason that it's slow, it takes a long time to reach its destination. So, people prefer travelling by air, so they reach quickly. So, what would be the option here? Very few people are travelling by train because of its slowness. Okay. Next is I can do very dash work at nights despite dash my efforts. So, here the sentence has got two blanks and you also have two blanks as options, okay, A, B, C, D, E, much and some, a little, a few, less, whole, any, more, little, all. So, I can do very work at nights, that means I cannot do more work at night. So, you need to select the right option for both the blanks. Despite there is a blank my efforts. So, I can do very little. Option E is the correct option. Very little work at night despite all my efforts. Even I put all my efforts, I am not able to work at night. So, you should try to understand the sentence, children, properly, and then only you will be able to choose the correct options. There weren't people in the stadium because of the heavy rain. So, many, much, each, plenty, some. So, here weren't, which means were not. It is a negative sentence. So, you should see that when we say there were many people, that is a positive sentence. So, there weren't many people in the stadium because of the heavy rain. We do not use much for people, and each also we do not use here, plenty means that also we do not use here, and some also will not be the option here. So, there weren't many people in the stadium because of the heavy rain. We have, there is a blank petrol on the tank. So, I think it will be sufficient to get to the town. So, here it will be sufficient, that means we do not have a tank full of petrol. So, that means a little, we have a little petrol in the tank. So, I think it will be sufficient to get to the town. We had learned the use of little, a little and the little. Little means we had learned that that can be seen, or if we talk about few means we can count, and a little means at least something, some petrol is there and we can manage till we reach the town. So, we have a little petrol. Little means there is a doubt whether you would be able to reach the town or not. A little means okay, at least there is some petrol in the tank and you can reach the town. So, you need to understand the uses of determiners as we had discussed. You can't convince me to go there. I hate watching silly games. Okay. So, I hate watching silly games. Which silly games? Such silly games. It will not be every silly games, we that or as or plenty of, but here the right option would be such. You can't convince me to go there. I hate watching such silly games. Do you remember man I pointed out to you yesterday? The options are children, sometimes regarding the use of determiners, especially the articles, we have learned that there are situations where we do not use the articles. For example, we do not use the, we had looked at different situations where we do not use the definite article the. So, here there is a blank in option A, and then an and the, a and any. So, here the sentence talk about a particular man. Do you remember there is a blank man I pointed out to you yesterday? That means I had pointed out a particular man to you yesterday. So, the is the definite article or the specific article or the specific determiner. So, we use, do you remember the man I pointed out to you yesterday? Now, again Earth is one of planets of our solar system. Again here you have articles as the options, and as I told you, unique things, the Earth, the solar system. So, we have to use the definite article the. The Earth is one of the planets of our solar system. Now, how can he be abroad? I just saw him half, there is a blank hour ago. We had also learned that an is used before the word where H is silent. We do not say har, we say r. So, though the spelling is H-O-U-R, we do not say hour, we say r. So, where the letter H is silent, you do use an. Okay? The indefinite article an. So, I just saw him half an hour ago. Question number 11, at moment we use mainly coal, fuel and electric energy to heat our houses, to transport people and to produce food. Okay? So, here at the moment we are talking about, you know, the time now. Now, that means at the moment we are talking about a particular moment. So, at the moment we use mainly coal, fuel and electric energy to heat our house, to transport people. We will not say to transport the people, transport people and to produce food. Okay? So, here the option would be at the moment, and you know, for the other two blanks you will not be using any determiners, or here we have articles. Now, you can buy, there is a blank of these two books. They are, again there is a blank, very helpful if you want to improve your knowledge in the field. So, here the options are both, all, one and none, one and all, either and both and either. So, here they are talking of two books. Okay? So, what would you say? You can buy either of these two books. They are both very helpful. You say both of them are helpful, so you can buy any one of them, either of them. Okay, we use either. Neither means none of them. Either you can use any, buy any one of these books, and they are both very helpful. Okay. So, these were some of the examples, children, of determiners and the type of questions you will be getting in your examinations. You can even find lot of exercises online. If you have a good connectivity, you can find more exercises online and try to solve them. And you can evaluate yourself also, as they will be giving your scores too as you attend lot of online tests on the exercises related to grammar. You can practice them, and you can also you know, look into your grammar books for some exercises, and also you need to practice a lot, children. Unless and until you practice, you will not understand the concept properly. As it has been rightly said, practice makes a person perfect. So, I hope you would practice a lot of exercises and try to understand the concepts in your syllabus, so that you are able to attempt the grammar portion in a better way and score good marks. In the next class, I will meet you with a new topic. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay at home.